During the Dance of the Dragons, no city mattered more than King's Landing. It was the capital of Westeros, home to the Iron Throne, and the symbol of royal legitimacy. For nearly a year, it had been held by King Aegon II and the Greens, but in 130 AC, everything changed. Without a major battle, without a lengthy siege, and without a dragon fight. Instead, King's Landing fell because of betrayal, politics, and one man who had never forgotten where his loyalties truly lie. This is the story of the fall of King's Landing, one of the most important turning points of the Dance of the Dragons. The fall of King's Landing began long before Rhaenyra arrived at its gates. It began with Prince Aemon Targaryen. After taking command of the Green War effort, Aemon and Sir Criston Cole marched west towards Harrenhal. Their goal was to destroy Prince Daemon Targaryen, but in doing so, they made a catastrophic mistake. They left King's Landing largely undefended. Many of the city's best soldiers marched away with Aemon. The dragons Vhagar and Sunfire were absent, and much of the Green leadership believed the capital was secure. They were wrong. On Dragonstone, the Blacks immediately recognized the opportunity. They moved quickly. The attack began from both sea and sky. Queen Rhaenyra mounted Syrax. Prince Daemon mounted Caraxes. Together, the two dragons flew over King's Landing. As the massive beast circled above the city, panic spread through the streets. People ran. Bells rang. Rumors exploded. Many feared the city would be burned just as Harrenhal had. At the same time, another threat approached. The fleet of Lord Corlys Velaryon, the Sea Snake. Hundreds of ships appeared in Blackwater Bay. Suddenly, the capital found itself trapped. Enemy dragons above, enemy ships below, and no army nearby to save it. Inside the Red Keep, Queen Dowager Alicent Hightower scrambled to respond. She ordered riders sent to recall Aemon. She attempted to send ravens to loyal lords throughout the realm, but something strange happened. Her orders never left the city. Unknown to Alicent, the true battle had already been decided, because King's Landing had a hidden enemy within its walls, the Gold Cloaks, the City Watch, and many of them still remembered the man who had created them, Prince Daemon Targaryen. Years earlier, Daemon had transformed the City Watch into one of the most feared forces in Westeros. Many Gold Cloaks remained fiercely loyal to him. Now Daemon was calling in that loyalty. As soon as Caraxes appeared above the city, the conspiracy sprang into action. The commanders of the city gates were arrested, some were imprisoned, others were killed. Grand Maester Orwell was seized before he could send messages. The Green leadership found itself isolated almost immediately. One of the most famous moments came when Sir Gawain Hightower confronted Sir Lothair Largent, commander of the Gold Cloaks. Gawain accused him of being a turncloak. Lothair's response became legendary. Daemon gave us these cloaks, and they're gold no matter how you turn them. Moments later, Gawain was dead. The fate of King's Landing had been sealed. With the gate commanders removed, the city began collapsing from within. Lothair Largent ordered the gates opened. Black soldiers poured into the capital from Corlys Velaryon's fleet. Most of the city's defenses crumbled immediately. Only one serious resistance remained. At the river gate, 13 Hightower knights and roughly 100 men-at-arms fought desperately. For 8 hours, they held against attacks from both inside and outside the city, but they stood alone. One by one, the other gates fell. Black forces entered unopposed, and before the day was over, King's Landing belonged to Rhaenyra. No great siege, no massive battle. The capital of the Seven Kingdoms had fallen in less than a day. Realizing resistance was hopeless, Alicent surrendered. The Black victory was complete. But there was one prize Rhaenyra did not capture, King Aegon II. The king vanished before the Black forces could find him. His escape was arranged by one of the most dangerous men in Westeros, Lord Larys Strong, the Clubfoot. Using secret tunnels and hidden passages beneath the Red Keep, Larys smuggled Aegon out of the city. Accompanying him were 2 Kingsguard knights, Sir Willis Fell and Sir Rickard Thorne. Also escaping were Aegon's children, Princess Jaehaera and Prince Maelor. By the time Rhaenyra reached the Red Keep, her rival was gone. The war was far from over. For the first time in her life, Rhaenyra finally achieved what she had been promised since childhood. She sat the Iron Throne, the throne her father intended for her, the throne she had fought a war to claim. But according to Septon Eustace, something unsettling happened. As Rhaenyra sat upon the Iron Throne, the blades cut her. To many, this became a symbol, a sign that the throne itself rejected her rule. Whether that story is true remains unknown, but the legend endured, and it would later become one of the most famous stories surrounding her reign. At first, the people of King's Landing welcomed their new queen. Aegon II had not been popular. Aemon was wildly feared. Many hoped Rhaenyra would bring peace. Instead, the city soon found itself under increasing pressure. Executions became common. Several prominent Green supporters were put to death. Otto Hightower was executed. Jasper Wilde was executed. Lord Rosby and Stokesworth attempted to switch sides once again. Rhaenyra refused to forgive them. Calling them faithless friends, she ordered their deaths as well. Meanwhile, war remained expensive. Taxes increased. food became scarcer, and public support began to collapse. Before long, the small folk had given Rhaenyra a cruel new nickname, King Maegor, with teats. Even after her capture, Alicent Hightower continued searching for a way to end the war. She proposed an extraordinary compromise, defied the Seven Kingdoms. Rhaenyra would rule from King's Landing. Aegon would establish a separate kingdom centered on Old Town. The realm would be split between them. After years of bloodshed, it was perhaps the last realistic opportunity for peace. But Rhaenyra refused. In her eyes, her brother had stolen her birthright. Her sons had died because of them. Too much blood had already been spilled. There would be no compromise, only victory or destruction. The fall of King's Landing should have been Rhaenyra's greatest triumph. She captured the capital, seized the Iron Throne, and imprisoned her enemies. Yet the victory contained seeds of future disaster. Aegon II escaped. The war continued. The people of King's Landing turned against their new queen, and the dream Rhaenyra pursued her entire life would soon begin slipping through her fingers, because in the Dance of Dragons, winning a throne was often easier than keeping it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lore of Westeros, be sure to subscribe for more histories, battles, and legends from a world of ice and fire, and let me know in the comments, was the fall of King's Landing Rhaenyra's greatest victory, or the beginning of her downfall?